Imagine a life where your mind is completely focused, your heart is at peace, and your spirit is free. This is the promise of the three inner limbs of Ashtanga Yoga: Dharana, concentration; Dhyana, meditation; Samadhi, spiritual absorption. These three inner limbs and the last limbs of the Ashtanga Yoga take you beyond the physical, guiding you towards mental mastery and spiritual liberation. In today's fast-paced life where distraction and chaos dominates, the practices of Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi are not just spiritual tools. They're essential for inner peace and clarity. Do you ever feel like your mind is scattered, your thoughts going haywire? You feel stressed, constantly jumping from one thought to another? In today's fast-paced life, where people have no patience and everything is needed fast, digital load where screens, notifications and demands consume your attention. The inner limbs of yoga, dharana, dhyana, samadhi offer a path to clarity, calmness and spiritual awakening. These lead you to a path where you are not at constant struggle with yourself. You're at peace. You're trying to achieve this because you don't want to be in a chaotic mind, as chaotic mind leads to a chaotic physical being. One misconception is that these practices of dharana, dhyana and samadhi are just for monks and sages. That's not true. They're tools for modern living, helping you cultivate mental resilience, emotional stability and inner bliss. And yes, if you're looking for spiritual liberation, what could stop you? Because ultimately we are going to go back to the source. And to go back to the source, if you can really get into the source much before you leave this world, where is the problem? There is no problem, right? Let us begin with dharana, the sixth limb of Ashtanga Yoga. The word dharana comes from the root word dri, meaning to hold or to concentrate. It is a practice of single-pointed focus where the mind is anchored on one object, sound or thought. Let us begin with dharana, the practice of concentration. In the modern world where multitasking and constant distractions have become the norm, dharana offers you the power to focus your mind like a laser beam. Mind you, it is not easy. Once you have done pratyahar, to reach to dharana also requires a lot of practice, because you've become jitendriya, which means you have mastered over your indriyas or your sense organs and your karmendriyas, your organs of work, but still you have to concentrate and make sure that your mind doesn't wander. Wandering of mind is a major problem, and that's what needs to be dealt with right. Maharishi Patanjali says, Desh bandh chittasya dharanaha. In the sutra, he says dharana is the binding of consciousness to a specific point or object. This means bringing your full attention to a single place where it is your breath, mantra, or space between your eyebrows, or your deity you believe in, or anything which can make you feel good and you can concentrate for long durations. So if you can hold your attention to one thought, one task, one sensation, one object, you would be acing it. So dharana basically is done with your closed eyes. But if you think you want to use other techniques, you can use the tratak or the gazing technique, where you fix your gaze on flame or a dot. You can do mantra japa, repeating a sacred mantra with focused attention. You can do through breath awareness, and slowly you start concentrating yourself onto that particular object, thought, thing, idea to achieve the situation of dharana. Desh bandh chittasya dharanaha. These techniques enhance your concentration and build mental discipline, making your mind resilient against distractions. You sharpen your focus, improve mental clarity, and cultivate inner resilience. Dhyana. As the word says, as Dharana deepens, it transforms into Dhyana, the seventh limb of Ashtanga Yoga. Dhyana is not just meditation, it is effortless, continuous mindfulness. It is the unbroken flow of awareness towards the object of concentration. As your concentration deepens, it transitions into Dhyana, meditation. It is effortless, mindless, where your awareness flows continuously towards a single point, creating a state of stillness and inner peace. Tat pratyay ekatanta dhyanam. The continuous, uninterrupted flow of awareness towards one object is Dhyan, is what Maharishi Patanjali describes it as. Unlike Dharana, Dhyan does not require effort because you have already become at peace and your Dhyan is effortless. It is a natural state of mindfulness, stillness, and concentration. Your thoughts slow down in this situation. Your mind becomes calm and clear. Your experience is of deep inner stillness. There is a continuous, uninterrupted flow of awareness towards one object. Dhyan in daily life is a very good stress reliever. Reduces anxiety and promotes calmness, gives you emotional stability, enhances your response to emotional triggers. You don't just snap at things, you take your time to react, and hence a lot of issues and problems can be solved. It improves creativity as a clear mind fosters creativity and insights. As Dhyan deepens, it blossoms into Samadhi, the eighth and the final limb of Ashtanga Yoga. Samadhi is the state of complete absorption where the meditator, the act of meditation, and the object of meditation becomes one. As Dhyan deepens, it blossoms into Samadhi, spiritual absorption. Samadhi is the ultimate goal of yoga, where the meditator, the act of meditation, and the object of meditation merge into one. Maharishi Patanjali says, Tadev arth matra nirbhasam swarup shunyamiv samadhihi. When only the object of meditation remains and the self dissolves, that is Samadhi. In this state, the ego dissolves, your experiences are of oneness with the universe. Time, space, and identity cease to exist. What are the techniques of doing Samadhi or achieving Samadhi? Silent meditation retreats, which means extended periods of silence and stillness. Just closing your eyes and sitting in a position and meditating over your chakras, Ajna chakra or your Anahat chakra. Just trying to experience and not giving into any thoughts which are coming. Long, uninterrupted sessions of mindfulness and breath practices, devotion and surrender, Ishwar Pranidhan, Bhakti or Jap leads to spiritual absorption. The journey through Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi is the path of freedom and bliss. Through concentration, you cultivate focus. Through meditation, you experience stillness. Through Samadhi, you discover the true nature, the infinite and eternal. So, in stillness, you will find your true self. Thank you very much. Take care. Meet you in the next video.